everybody, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of 10 Minute Tuesday. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. In today's episode, I have my homie Nadir on. Nadir, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. So we've done a number of these, man. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Nadir Abraham. I'm a senior BI strategist at Workday. I've been in this role for almost a year now and just been in the data analytics space for over 6 years, based out of the Dallas, Texas area.
Awesome, man. So I met Nadir at the Tableau conference, super cool dude. So I was like, yo, I gotta get you on the podcast, man. So great to catch up with you and chat with you, man. So you mentioned that you've been in your role for a year, but then you've been in the space for 6+ years. So what really compels you to get into data to begin with?
I've been really focused in on the data analytics space just from word of mouth and seeing how hot that field is. I worked at Thomson Reuters right out of college and wasn't initially in the data field, but at a tech company nonetheless. So there's a bunch of people already in that field that I was just associated with that got me really interested and told me about the different tools they're using and how they're able to really leverage those tools to provide insights to the business and ultimately make impact. So I started to dig into that and I was just really passionate about being able to provide those type of insights and to see actionable decisions being made through my work. So that's what really compelled me to go towards this field.
Awesome, man. So I really want to make an impact, get into it, get into the weeds, just do a lot of good stuff with data. So thinking about this, 6+ years you've been in it, but you probably had jobs and stuff that you had that you didn't like. So what's been your least favorite job to date that you've had? And it doesn't necessarily have to be data related.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably say my first job out of college. So essentially the first job I had was a product associate working directly with our clients. So helping them with their tax and accounting software and also having to understand that portion, but as well as the technical side of the software. So every day I would, talk to these clients and really hear about their pain points, hear about what they did like about the software. And throughout that journey, it wasn't the most fun role, but I was able to really understand the product at a core level. And I was really looking for a way to leverage all that knowledge and, communication with the client and share it back with our product team, share it back with our engineering team, and have some concrete evidence around the feedback that I was receiving, both from a quantitative and qualitative perspective. So I started to dig into the different tools that were available that I can present these findings. And I came across Tableau, I came across Alteryx as well from a data manipulation standpoint. And I was able to really leverage those tools to extract out those insights and share it back to those teams. Even though I wasn't in a data analytics role per se in that time frame, I was still looking to, in like any extra time that I had, still utilize those different techniques to provide those insights back. So I would say it was probably my least favorite role because it wasn't directly related to data analytics or it wasn't too analytical, but I was still able to leverage the way, like the key findings from my everyday learning to share it back with those teams.
Love that, man. Love that. So really a lot of transferable skills, some stuff you might not necessarily been using full time in it, but where you're at now, he's able to leverage some of that stuff. So a follow-up question to that, what are some things that you gained from that particular role that you're leveraging today? You mentioned Tableau, Alteryx, but what else was there? Is like soft skills? Is there client relationship? Like what are you using today?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think from a soft skills perspective, it was every day talking to accountants and real professionals from that field. So these are folks from the big four accounting firms or other global corporations that are utilizing the software that we had at Thomson Reuters. So I think having that communication daily with those polished professionals that you could really take a lot of insights from going forward, you'll take that professional communication with you and be able to leverage it in your day-to-day job or even written communication as well, which is super important.
Love that. Love that. All right. So thinking about your jobs and your experience, what's one lesson that your job has taught you that you think everyone should experience at some point in their career?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing would be making decisions in terms of any type of huge business impact that it may have. So a lot of times, depending on the organization, there's a general consensus and there's a hunch that they'll go about and make really big investments or decisions based off of that, but they wouldn't necessarily take the time to do the due diligence and analytics around it, which is it exactly where we come in as data analytics professionals to validate those hypotheses and as well as provide some more data analytics so they can have data driven insights in making those key decisions. So I would definitely say that just being able to help validate some of those theories and taking that even to your everyday life. If instead of assuming, you know, a particular outcome, you might as well do the due diligence and research behind it. So yeah, overall, just digging into the data.
Awesome, awesome. So thinking about this, so the audience for this is typically, well, I think the audience for this is typically entry level people or people who are trying to get their start in data, and they're just like, man, I don't know where to go or what to do. So, what is one piece of advice you give someone who's just starting out in their career in data?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would say, of course, there's the technical side, which is important. There's hundreds of resources in terms of learning that particular skill set, learning the uh, different softwares like Tableau, also languages like SQL, which are super vital. But I think a lot of the value that we can provide as well is from having the business acumen and background. So, in my example, from my initial job where I was really talking to clients every day and in the product every day, understanding the pain points, I was able to transition internally into a CX research analyst where I was really focused on the analytics side of things. And I had that background of the product from my experience before that. So um, I would say if there's a way that you can understand the business impact and how, like what data matters to the leaders, that'll take you much further than just building cool charts and building cool visualizations without having the proper requirements in place and having that background. I think that's super important to build that up.
Love that. Great answer. You gotta understand what they need, what you're trying to show, what's the problem is, all that stuff. That will take you super far, and it never goes away. All right, Nadir, tell me about the most influential people in your life and how they made an impact on you.
Yeah, for sure. I would say I would give a big shout out to my mentor, Sanaya. He's a VP of Solution Consulting, and he's really just supported me in terms of pointing me in the right directions in terms like making connections, or if I have any general business advice or career advice, he'd provide that. So I think he was even the main person who introduced me to some key contacts at internally, and I was able to meet with them, and they referred me to, hey, you should really check out Tableau. It's a new tool. Or not new in that sense. It was new to me,
Yeah.
but check that out. So I downloaded the free version, Tableau Public, and then I also there's free trials, there's free courses. So I was able to dig right into that. So by the time a new role pops up, I had that background and I had examples of my work. So I'd say that would be one of the key people that really helped me drive into this particular field.
Yeah. Shout out to mentors, man. They're dope.
Oh yeah,
Love mentors. They're great. Great people. All right, I'm trying a new
absolutely.
segment here. So basically, like I said, my audience is people who are entry level. So, Nadir, do you have any questions for me that you're wanting to have for my journey that you want to have like on tape?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think, of course, like the big thing out right now, everybody's talking about is AI. So I wanted to ask you how you're planning on utilizing it for your particular field and business and seeing what your strategy is in terms of AI.
Yeah. So AI is great. It's awesome. It is a tool, and I treat everything like a tool. And is how can I use it to leverage the skill set? I grew up playing ball, so I always like focus on the fundamentals, and then you grow from there. So I plan on using AI to enhance what I might already know, but I'm still want to understand the basics. Like if it's Tableau, like I still need to understand the basics of an LOD calculation, or I need to understand a good data model. Like there's still basic core concepts that I want to involve in. And then once I understand that, I will use AI to increase, efficiency, whether it's in generating like, the DAX calculation, the Tableau calculation, or, doing some stuff with wireframing, or, get some stuff to the stakeholder. Where I do use it a lot as a consultant, I am leveraging it a lot for some of my soft skills conversations. So like if I'm typing out something that is going to a stakeholder and I'm like, nah, I'm not good at English. Let me type this and put this into like, AI, and it enhances my grammar. I found that has helped me out a whole lot with some of the soft skills and just communication more so than the technical. So I'm kind of figuring out, but it's not going to replace my job. Like, and I'll put that on wax. Like I'll outwork AI. So hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt in like a year, but we'll see.
No, 100%. I completely agree. It is like exactly what you mentioned. It's a tool, and I think if you're able to leverage that tool, it'll just make you a superhuman and be able to like 10x your output. Or, for example, if you're debugging something, you can literally it can help you debug it and find some errors. Like you said, just super. It helps you increase the efficiency of your work, and it's scary that it's just the initial years. So we'll see where it ends up. A couple of years from now, 5, 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely
The curve's been
insane.
crazy. Like last year is the hottest thing, right? It's just like AI, and I feel like it's starting to flatten a little bit as like more data is being fed into it, and then some of the results are starting to be kind of questionable and shaky. So we'll see what happens in like a year or two when like certain models get trained and what that looks like. But I mean, it's not going anywhere. Like everybody's talking about it. So, but it's like everything. There'll be a new wave in like 3 years on something else.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure,
Cool.
for
All
sure. Just
right, Nadir, where can listeners find you at online?
yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's my name, Nadir Abraham. Love to connect with you guys.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you, bro, for being on 10 Minute Tuesday, man. This is great catching up with you.
Yeah, thanks, Echo. Have a good one.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said in the beginning, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to y'all next week. Have a great day.